Hi, and welcome back to Spirit Lounge again. We're continuing our journey into the Chandogya Upanisad. So this is a very short one, and it's more of a parable, a story. I've taken snapshots of it, so apologies for its fragmentation. It may come across a little bit fragmented, but let's pop it onto the screen now and jump straight in. So because this is chapter 4, again, large body of work, the Vedas. We've gone through this many times. We won't spend too much time on here because this video should be pretty short. And this is part of the 8th, and so Rekvya is one of the sages in the seers, and this was a subsection of his teaching in the start of this chapter. So I hope it makes sense, and we'll try to walk through it. But it just talks about the air, the breath, the ear, the sun, some of the awareness that we've already passed through in the preceding chapters. So it says, air is absorbent, for when a fire goes out into the air, the sun sets and it goes into the air, the moon sets and it goes into the air, water dries up, it goes and rises, evaporates into the air. The air absorbs them all. So it's talking about air being the space in which all of that concludes. Reference to the self, the breath is absorbent. One sleeps. Speech just goes into breath, the sight into breath, hearing, mind into breath. Breath absorbs all this. So it's saying within the body, the environment, the air is thus all space, the breath thus is all space in the body. The two absorbents, air among the gods and the breath among the breaths. So it describes all the moves into culmination, its end. So that's what it's basically describing. So again, it's using metaphor, using analogy to describe the culmination of things, what things ultimately drive up into, the breath being the divine space as well, and the air being the culmination space in which everything goes into. Okay, Brahma as life, joy, and ether. Upakasala dwelt with Satyakama, this is a story, as a student of sacred wisdom. He tended to his fires for 12 years and Satyakama allowed other pupils to return after the teaching, return to their homes. He did not allow Upakasala to go home. The wife said to him, he has performed all his penances, his penances in his rituals during his teachings, tended to the teacher's fires, and why won't you give him the teachings? And so he's asking him to give this individual the teachings. But he went away without teaching him. The student then went on a fast or a strike not to eat and resolved not to eat. The wife said to him, please eat. He said, I will not eat. And then the fires then spoke to Upakasala and said, you have tended as well, let us teach him. So they taught him. They said, life is Brahman, joy is Brahman, ether is Brahman, supreme consciousness. He said, I understood life is Brahman. Fire instructed him, earth, fire, food, and sun are forms of me. The person that is seen in the sun, which is remember the center of the sun, the person, the center of the sun being the representation of absolute Brahman, the supreme integration of self, or the I, or knowledge. Knowing this meditates on the 5. Fire destroys sinful actions, and those live brightly. Breath, space, sky, and lightning forms from me. The person that is seen in lightning, I am he. Meditates on the fire, destroys sinful actions. The fire said, you have this knowledge of ourselves and knowledge of the self. Teacher will tell you the way. The teacher returned, so the fire stopped speaking, ceased their teaching to Upakasala, and the teacher returned and spoke to Upakasala. Your face shines like one who knows Brahman. So the teacher was seeing something different in the student. Who has instructed you? And Upakasala points to the fire. They are of this form now, teacher said. What did they indeed tell you? The person who is seen in the eye, he is the self, immortal, fearless, the Brahma. We can see the self in the eye if we are pure of heart. This is true. All desirable things go towards him. Who knows this? Brings all desirable things, since shines in all worlds. Silence and speech in sacrifices. That which purifies here the wind is the sacrifice. Moving along, he purifies all this. So the wind passes through, takes all the necessary things away, and this is the purification. The Brahma piece performs one with his mind by speech. So the same thing happens with the teachings. Morning litany as commence, the morning teachings, the prayers, the hymns. Concluding a recitation, the priests speak and performs one way only, that by words. So they're talking about the Gita here, speech, hymns, the Saman, and the Om. And that is the end of that chapter. So it's very, very short. It had a little bit more in there, but it was actually not very long. It just talked about a story again. There's not much in there for us to digest, but I wanted to put some context in there, not to miss that out. So again, thank you very much for listening to this. We'll jump on to the next chapter shortly. I hope you're enjoying this. Please pass me your feedback if this is useful to you guys, because it helps me understand that the works that I'm doing are useful to others. So thanks again, and God bless you all until next time.